Well, that does not look promising. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're back in the shop. As you can see, Moose is back in the shop. It's a rainy, kind of dull day. Been relaxing most of it. Should get more done, but you got to kick back once in a while. So, been watching some my favorite YouTubes and checking things out, and looking at some trails that we're going to be going to this summer, and checking out some other stuff. So, anyways, back to the truck. Show you what we're up to today. So, start with, we're getting this thing back on. I've got it up in place, spaced out. We moved it back some, so we're not going to be rubbing that tire. We moved back quite a bit actually, but we still got more than enough room back here. We're not going to rub when that tire comes up. We're good there, no problems. So this will be good. But in the process, notice something else. I'm thinking that this axle is not perfectly straight at the moment. I'm thinking we might have slipped back slightly on that. I noticed that this one U-bolt is a little loose and that, so I'm going to double check on that, measure it all up and see why. Maybe there is a small spacer under there. Maybe that spacer slipped a bit. Looks like it's not sitting perfectly square, so I'm not sure. I'm going to double check that later and see. That could be part of our problem. That's why this one was catching when the other one wasn't. But when we're done with this, it's not going to catch either way. Now, under here, we're going to do a few things this week as well. We're going to pull that and put the factory closed one in, the breather that is, just so we can hit some water without drowning poor Moose. Going to keep this thing for going to the car shows, stuff like that. I got a nice clean filter for it, and it'll be good for that. But elsewise, we're going to go back to the stock. Just for simple fact, it's got a snorkel that goes over into the hole over here, and just kind of keep the water out of it. Other things we're going to work on, hope to get to this week, is the throttle. Now, my throttle is tucked down in there. My kick down isn't hooked up. That's not a problem as such, but it's not hooked up. Want to get that done if I can. And also my throttle cable is down in there, and it does, I'll show you later, it does 290s when it comes out of that firewall. It is so kinked. It makes the throttle very, very hard to push. I can move it just with a fingertip here, but the actual cable, the pedal, it's very, very stiff to move. So if I'm trying to get it so I can just give a little bit of gas right now, it's very hard to just regulate it. Just give a little, because it's stiff, and then you're giving it almost too much. So that's causing, because the transfer case in this is a little too high, I plan to change that this summer if I can. Our problem is that it's just, I'm either not going fast enough or I'm going too fast. So it's making it hard to crawl. I can bounce up things, as you've seen, and I can go over a lot of stuff with this truck, but nice slow crawl up something, doesn't want to do it yet. So I'm hoping by fixing the throttle I can get a little more speed control, and then after, when we change the transfer case, we'll have a lower gear for four-wheel low, and that will give us more control again. So these are what we're working on. Hopefully by the end of this week, also the little bash pan in the front. So bash pan, rock slide, throttle, breather, and then if we're lucky, maybe get to some of the other little things I want to, and the locker. The locker's something I've never dealt with. It's going to take me a while to do it, so I don't want to have the truck down unless I know I've got the time that we're not going to go wheeling or something and tear that apart and put it in. So let's see where we get to. This will probably be a few days all compiled into one video. I only get a couple hours a day to play on this right now, but here's what I can get, and let's see what happens. I gotta share this one with you guys. I was trying to find a spot under here to get my ground for welding, because I gotta weld up in there. I tried here, too rusty, without cleaning it up. So, just as a ham, I just said, oh, I'll just clamp it on here. This is the bottle jack that's holding this up. Just sitting on a little pad. It worked. I actually have current going through with no problems at all. Not exactly sure why, but hey, we'll take it as a win. All right, here we have it, back on. I can actually stand up on it again. I grab a hold of something here. Ta-da! There we go. Anyway, there we go. It's back on. And it's good and strong. See? Not going anywhere. Yes, I got my steel-toed shop Crocs on again. Not doing anything right now, so anyway, we got that back on. Had a small little snag. The light up here. Oh, can't really get it. Anyways, there's a light up in there, and yeah, that one right there. Yeah, I melted the wires because they were going through the frame. I heated up so much, so had to rewire him. So he's fixed up. Welds are all done. Not the prettiest. That's because they're inverted welding. Hate it. But it's done. I have not checked out the measurements on this yet. That's my next step. So I'm going to get to that. But we'll go from there. These thoughts back on. So this is one more step. Hey, I'm back at it. It's a new day. Today I'm going to try and get the throttle cable fixed. So we're going to see what we can do with that. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this dealt with today. Okay, first we're going to take this whole thing off. First, we'll take the chrome breather out. When we're done with this, I'm going to put the stock breather back on it, which I now have one, and that'll be nice for playing in the water. We're going to keep the chromie for car shows and fun stuff like that, but we're going to get the put the other one back in. All right, now let's show you what we got going on here. If I can get enough light on it. Oh, we got some. We got a leak somewhere around here. We're getting some engine coolant on there. Definitely got to look into that. I did not know that. All right. Something else to check out. All right. So, try to get some light on the subject here. There we go. So this is our throttle cable. Runs down through our little block. Underneath the whole mess of junk here. But literally, it comes out of there, goes right here, and then S back into here. So it actually comes out, doubles backwards, and then goes forward into here. So what we're looking at doing is taking this all apart, and we've got this nice new one here. That's nice steel wrap one. We're going to leave this the full length, hopefully. And I want it to come out of here and then do like a loop and then back in. So trying to get it so it's not kinked anywhere. So it doesn't have this massive bend here that's causing me, I'm pretty sure that's what's causing me problems, because the springs are pretty tight on this too, but it seems to be awfully stiff. Now this thumb, it's a bit stiff. Maybe it's just my springs. I don't know. We're gonna look into it. Also, as you can see, I just moved. My kickdown is not actually hooked up. Now, I don't need it hooked up. I can just kick down if I need to. Doesn't seem to really wreck my performance any, but we might look into that too while we're at it. But let's see what we can get done. One of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to take that spring off. Let's just see if I change up that spring. What if we were to change up that spring? Because we don't have so much spring. Let's just okay, that's not on there. Okay, let's say that one's off. That's definitely easy. Still springs back, but it is easy to pull. Okay, let's check in the car and see if that makes a difference. I had a double spring on this. Now I'm not sure what this carburetor was off of originally, but it had double springs. I hooked them up right off the bat. I've released the outer spring on it at the moment, and it has made a difference, a considerable difference to the pedal pressure. Still, it gives more than enough. It snaps it back. There's no problem. I'm not have to worry about the pedal, not returning to zero. I did that once years ago. I put a vehicle together, put a body on it. We hooked everything up. We forgot to put the return spring on the carburetor. That was not good. That was scary as heck, I will say. It was, yeah, I'll never forget that. Anyways, back to this. We've reduced one spring. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to drive it like that and see what it's like with the one reduced spring. See if it makes enough of a difference that everything works. Another thing I got to do is find out where that pool of coolant came from that I didn't know about. because that is not good. Now, I keep checking my rad, and my rad seems to be fine. So I have driven it. Maybe I haven't got it hot enough that it's burned that off, but I'd say that's new-ish. So we've got to find out where that's coming from. So I'm going to have to fire this up and see if it's squirting out anywhere. This hose is a little worse for wear. I do have another hose. I think I have another hose. I did buy a new hose, I think for the lower. I'm not sure if we've replaced it yet or not. If not, then maybe I can use it on the upper, or we'll just get a new upper hose. This one was leaking earlier, and I had to revamp it. So maybe it's leaking down at that corner. It was leaking up here. I fixed that, but now maybe it's leaking down there. So I don't have any room to cut any more off of it. So if it's actually leaking down there, I'm kind of SOL. So we will double check on this, see what's happening. I don't have the regulator in there, so it doesn't keep it heating until it opens. It's open all the time. Again, this is used mostly in the summertime, so that's okay. Wintertime, I just throw some cardboard in, block up the rad, and let it warm up. So now we're going to keep this beautiful little piece of machinery. I have a new filter for it, and as I said, we'll put that in for the car shows and fun stuff. Well, we have a stock breather we're going to pop on there, and then we have the hose for it here. I got stuff stuck in every corner right now. Problem of amalgamating the two shops. So this is supposed to go from somewhere in here. There we go. In there and into it. So hopefully that works, and then we'll actually be able to take Moose through some deep water without having to worry about flooding the poor thing. I don't want to drown them. Oh, all right. Hang on a second. We're going to see what we can find out here. One of the other things, this, I don't know how many of you have seen this. This is in my heater hose, and I was baffled as what the heck it was at first. But this unique little gadget right here is actually a water heater. So instead of having a block heater, I have this heater, and this heater plugs in, and the cord's hiding under here, up under here, but it plugs in and it heats the water into your heater core, and then you go from there. I have not actually seen one before. I'm just trying to figure out if it was like some kind of a valve or what the heck it was. But then one day when I realized the power cord came off of it, and that's what it is. I don't even know if it works or not. I've never really tried it. Probably should sometime in the winter. But yeah, it's designed to heat water basically on your heater core side, and then because that flows back into it without any regulators. So I guess as it heats, it starts to flow itself around, and yeah, kind of interesting. Different, but interesting. All right, we're going to put the stock breather back on here now. Just got this. It's ugly, but maybe later we'll clean it all up and make it look pretty. I'm not really worried about looks at the moment, more worried about keeping Moose from drowning. So let's get this on. We got a brand new filter in it. So we get that. This guy goes around like so, and he drops on. Come on, there you go, right there. Ooh, no, better turn more. Okay. Okay. All right, there we go. All right. Yeah, that's aiming towards the hole in the wall there, so that should be what we're looking for. Only thing is, I don't think my stem's long enough. Uh-oh. Our stem's not long enough to reach. Well, that poses a new problem. All right, I've got to get an extension for the stem. Well, it's not that hard to do. I had one on one of my other vehicles. So you get a little longer block nut, and you put it on there, and then you have it extend up. That is very unfortunate. Good thing I wasn't planning on going through any water today. All right. Either that or I just need a longer threaded rod. That thread. All right. Well, now I got to go searching through my stuff and see if I have anything that'll fix that, or if I'm going back to the open breather for today and back to this when I can get a threaded rod. Well, it's not perfect, but for the moment it's going to work. What I did is I put 3 nuts in. Both of these thread into the middle one, and then these 2 lock it together so that it can't spin or rattle out. Hopefully it'll work. I've done it before and it has. There is a barrel style you can get. I think I'm just going to replace this whole thing with a longer threaded rod. So when I have the custom breather on, it'll be sticking out, you know, this much above it. But whatever, we can live with that. Then I don't have to mess with it. It'll be easier swapping back and forth. Because right now, if I go to put the chrome breather on, it's going to sit on top of this and not close the breather properly. So we're going to, I think what we're going to do is change that rod, but I don't have the time today and I do want to drive it. So I want to test it out. So we're going to go with this for now. And hopefully we'll get a threaded rod in there before we go wheeling. And then we don't have to worry about getting a loose nut inside the carburetor. That wouldn't be good. This thing's happening here. Oh, no, that doesn't reach. Okay, there's here. And there we have it. Stock breathers in, the hose. Only problem is right now we're missing the little piece that goes into the fender. So I got to see if I can track one of those down. If not, I'll maybe build something out of tin or ABS or something to hook the hose into there, keep it from getting water. As for our little green pool, that bracket was a tad loose, so I've tightened it up. So I won't know until I fire it up and get it heated up. I'll check it later today when I'm driving it and see what happens. Well, the sun came back out. Kind of, sort of. Keeps disappearing. But at least it's brighter. Hey, and we're back. I think this is day 3. The spring thing did work. Truck's driving way nicer. A lot easier than having to swap the whole throttle cable. So that worked. I haven't got the extra little piece for the air filter yet. I may have to build that. We'll see. I'm not going wheeling yet, unfortunately. So I've got a little time to work on that. What I'm trying to do today, and / probably tomorrow, is put the new locker in. I have never done this. It doesn't look overly complicated. I have turned around and used YouTube to find out how. I will be documenting this as thoroughly as I can, because a lot of the videos I watch do seem to skip a lot, I felt. So let's see if we can learn together and see how this goes. All right, we have this beautiful box I have not even opened. It I ordered in. Unfortunately, up here it's hard to get stuff, so I had to order this from the States. I've not even opened it yet. I've had it for like 2 weeks. So it's still in pristine shape. The original drop-in locker. Lock-right. Oh, I might edit that out. Alright, let's see. What are we getting here? We got a bunch of parts jingling and jangling. Hey, we got some stickers. That's cool. And we got some parts. What is it? Okay, that looks weird. I got two deep holes here. A slot with nothing in it. There's our springs. Some of our things. Well, so much for that. Looks like that box was missing parts. So we've put a call in, and they're shipping us a new one that hopefully has all the pieces this time. So yeah, rear locker has been put on hold again. So when we did the bumper, not sure if it's just the pinch wire or what happened, but we lost our reverse lights. So and work on that and get the reverse lights working again in the bumper, and then we're going to try to do a couple other small things and mods we need to do while we wait for that. So one of the wires at the back were crushed in to the mount. I never did put those zip ties I was talking about in there to keep the wires up. So it looks like we blew our fuse here. So I can change that and see if things pop back up, and then I got to throw a little bit of tape over that wire at the back. But let's see if that fixes the problem. Well, that one was easy, just a pinched wire. So I'll tape up the wire, the new fuse is in, we're back up and working. Hey guys, that's it for now. As you can see, Moose is back outside. We got done what we can for the moment. We'll be back with some more, don't worry, and we're definitely going to be hitting the trails with Moose. As I say, that locker got ordered. Hopefully we get it in before it's too late, and we'll get back up and running. So until then, I'll see you next video.